Hi there and welcome back to Caro's Business. I'm Caro. This is my business YouTube channel. You know how it's going here. This is another episode from my True Business series where I share my experiences from more than 5 years in entrepreneurship, maybe mostly to give free advice for other founders, but also if you're an entrepreneur or just interested in the topics, make sure that you leave a like for this video, follow this channel, and maybe also put some interesting questions in the comments so I can answer them in other videos. So this one is about skills. And I know this is something like a buzzword at the moment because everybody has skills or is working on skills. But let's be honest, not everybody is made to do everything. So it's very important, especially when you're a founder and when you have so many different tasks all day, that you somehow find a good combination of like the skills you have and the skills where you need help with, or where you need like other people to come into your business to like cover these topics. I'm also working on my skills. I have a Skillshare challenge coming up. I'm currently doing one Skillshare course every morning. So let's see how that works out and what I learned there. This video comes soon. But I think first of all, let's have a look at like what the most important skills for founders are. Let me take my notes because I can't remember that. But in my Skillshare course about bootstrapping, I say that the 5 most important skills for founders are self-discipline, persistence, communication skills, negotiation skills, and patience. And I'm very bad at the 5th one. I'm very bad at patience. But let's have a look at the other ones. Like I think the self-discipline is more the motivation you need to get up every morning to take care of your business and your tasks and everything to keep everything going. The persistence part is about like not giving up after the first year, but maybe give it 5 to 10 years or so and keep on going and make your follow-ups with clients and things like that. Like really build your persistence skill if you don't have it somehow. The communication skill is of course something we need every day, like communicate about our business, communicate with people, find out if we can work together, if they want to become clients, and also like give interviews sometimes, be part of like a panel or give a keynote or whatever. Like if you don't feel so good with like public speaking and things like that, definitely have a look at it and maybe get a coach and work on it because it's getting more and more important in these days. Then negotiation skills, very important. It's not somehow part of communication. It's something you should have an eye on separately because it's like a different kind of skill. It also needs some kind of practice, and this is also something I recommend to every founder to have a look at, like really to learn to negotiate and to negotiate in a way that you, in the best case, end in a win-win situation for both sides, like best case for a client and yourself, your business. And yeah, patience is something I'm totally bad at, like it's something I sometimes don't have, but I'm working on that. And yeah, you find some more insights on that in my bootstrapping course. But let's say in general, you have some skills you have like naturally or because you're interested or you have been interested in learning something. Then there are skills you might want to learn because you might want to invest the time and you think it's interesting and you should have an eye on that. And then there are also skills where you say, I can't do it and I also don't want to spend the time and I don't want to learn it. And at this point, you need somebody else to help you with that. Like there, it doesn't make sense to just leave this open. But there you should definitely search for somebody who can help you with that, who likes to do something like that and has some passion for it, whatever it is. And yeah, can help you to bring your business forward in that little area that you can't cover as a founder. There are many areas we have to cover, but like maybe not everything. I made some notes about the mindset. Like I think the most important is to be interested in improving own skills and learning new things, but I've never seen a founder who has not this kind of like interest. So correct me if I'm wrong, then put it in the comments. But I think that's like the natural spirit of a founder or entrepreneur, that you have this kind of drive to like work on your further education and learn new things. Maybe not everything, but like definitely what you might need for your business. And you also need the time, and this is something we sometimes forget, and at some point you can't learn everything yourself and not up to a level where it really makes sense and where it really adds value for your business. And at some point you try to calculate, like, does it make sense for me to learn something new? Or can I better hire somebody else who's doing that? Like, does it make sense to pay another person who has the skill already, who's really, really good at that, instead of like sitting down, blocking some time in the calendar and take the time to learn it? I think in the beginning, it's not that much a discussion, because I just got a message from another founder who's like, yeah, I'm still working on my business model. When you're at that stage, that's not the stage where you should start outsourcing things because you think you don't have the skills or you don't want to learn it. Like, this is the point where you have to figure everything out yourself. But when you're at the point that you know what your daily tasks are and where you might need some help, or where it might make sense to hire somebody else to help you with some certain things, and you can manage that, you can tell the person what this person can help you with, because otherwise you can't even search for this person because you don't know what the specific skill is. Then it makes sense to calculate this, like, okay, my working hour is somehow worth so and so many euros, and this other person is getting paid so and so many euros or US dollars. So it makes sense to organize this kind of outsourcing, but not in the early beginning. Like, in the early beginning, be more interested in learning new skills than like outsourcing everything. Might be a total chaos in the end. And yeah, my personal experience is that it's also not bad if you don't have a certain skill. Like, many people don't like to be open about that. They're like, yeah, I can do everything. And that's not true. Like, there are also things I don't like to do, and maybe I can do it, but I hate it. So I want to have somebody else who can help me with that, and that's totally fine. I also don't want to learn it. Like, there are things I don't want to learn, or I'm not that much into, where I'm happy if somebody else can cover it, or otherwise it's just not part of my business. Like, that's also a compromise you have to make somehow. But that's totally fine. Like, we are all different. We all have different hobbies and different ideas and different things that we're interested in, where we're passionate about, and that's totally fine. And I think it's also very important when you're at the point, as I said, as a founder, that you have the budget and you have the opportunity to outsource things, that you first of all, and you don't have to put that somewhere or tell somebody about it, but you have to define that for yourself. Like, what are the things you like to do and what are you good at, and what things you don't like to do and where you're not good at. And like, for the two second things, you have to find people who help you with, who have the skills, who have the passion. That's it. That's the whole business. But most people fail at like being honest to themselves. So don't be like that. Don't be so dumb. Like, really be honest to yourself. You don't have to tell anybody, but be honest to yourself what your specific skills are you're good at and where you need help. And then you can search for help.